Glory, 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 glory. A blessed Sunday. I just want to share the word of God. In the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, from verse 24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a fourth part of a calf's of dove's dung was for 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn's floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give me thy son, and we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her, On the next day give thy son, that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. Wow. This is cannibalism. See the situation in Samaria after Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, besieged Samaria. There was great famine in the land. In chapter 7, Elisha, verse 1 said, Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, Tomorrow, about this time, shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. The prophet Elisha prophesied that by this time tomorrow, God is going to turn the situation around. This great famine that have besieged Samaria, there will be a turnaround. So the prophet Elisha prophesied this and said it. Then a Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord will make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but thou shalt not eat thereof. You see, when the prophet prophesied what is to happen, that God is going to turn the situation around in Samaria, the Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord will make windows in heaven, this thing is not going to happen. In verse 3, and there was 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come, and let us fall unto the host of Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall but die. You see the situation of these lame men? They thought it fit that whether we stay here, there is famine here. Whether we go into Samaria, there is famine. So we have to decide on what to do. So they decided to go into the land of Syria to go and get food. Because there was SARS and famine in Samaria. And they arose up in twilight to go unto the camp of the Syrians. And they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria. Behold, there was no man there, for the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariot and a noise of horses, even the noise of great hosts. And they said one to another, Lo, the king of Israel had hired against us kings of the Hittites and the kings of Egyptians to come upon us. Wherefore they arose and fled in twilight, and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their lives. Can you see the deliverance of God? From nowhere, people just hear noise. Your enemies who is planning evil against you will just hear a sudden noise, and they will flee from that which belongs to you. And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver and gold and raiment, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and hid it. Then they said one to another, We do not well. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore come, that we may go and tell the king's household. So they decided to go and report this to the king. So the people went out in verse 16 and spoiled the tent of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord that was prophesied by the prophet Elisha. And the king appointed the Lord, on whose hand he leaned, to have the charge of the gates. And the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. So this man who said, if God will open the windows of heaven, this thing will not happen. According to the word of the man of God, this man died. They trampled upon him and he died. And a measure of flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. You see how God can use anything to bring that your miracle to you. It will turn your life around. It will bring that thing that you are believing Him for. It will cause it to come to pass. You may not know where your miracle will come from. I hope you have been blessed. Stay blessed and have a wonderful night. A wonderful day.